Good morning. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
It's an exciting opportunity for you all. And if you can go ahead and begin by looking at the person next to you, left or right, look them right in the eyes, and let them know you are valuable. With conviction, with actual belief. All right, the second thing you're going to let them know is you are intelligent. Let them know. You're intelligent. Third thing you let them know is you are a priority. You're a priority. So take the V from valuable, the I from intelligent, the P from a priority, and you got a VIP. Go on and let them know they're a VIP. Let them know. Now, our topic of the day is, right now, this session is active listening, and I'll be real, it's a little bit intimidating speaking to some of the best listeners, not just in our business unit, not just at Nationwide, probably not just in our country, probably around the whole world. You all are the cream of the crop. It would be like if I sat down with Steph Curry, went out to the basketball court, hey, can I train you how to shoot threes? Well, he kind of has that down already. Or if I went to Michael Phelps and, hey, can I teach you how to swim a few laps? And he kind of has that down already. Or maybe it was like if I wanted to sit down Eminem and Jay-Z and say, hey, I want to show you how to spit a few bars. And he might have that down already. Or if I went to Kim Kardashian and said, hey, I want to show you how to put makeup on. And he might have that. Or if I sat down with Miley Cyrus and went, well, I'm going to show you how to come in like a wrecking ball. I don't know what I'll teach her. It's like, okay, these people know how to do it already, and that's a little bit of what it's like talking to the experts about something they're actually really great in already. And I just want you all to know that I'm aware of your expertise when it comes to listening. You wouldn't be in this room right now if you weren't already an advanced expert level listener. And my hope today is to give you a few tips and tricks that I've learned along the way that'll take where you are to that next level. We together? Yes. All right, so we got the first point for us today. I did give you a handout. However you learn best, if you want to take notes on that, if that's the way you process, or if you want to type up notes, I won't be offended, and I won't assume you're doing anything but taking notes for this. But however you want to do it, if you want to fully engage and talk to me afterward and go over some of the notes that I took, that's fine as well. Whatever works for you. I know different folks, different strokes. We have a different style of learning. So if you like to take notes, take notes. If you just want to sit back, that's fine as well. Whatever works for you, go ahead and do that. Listening is interesting. We talk about the harness, the power of listening. You all heard that song by Alison Krauss, the country song? And she goes, it's amazing how you speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you light up the dark. Try as I may, I can never explain what's being said when you don't say a thing. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand lets me know you'll catch me if ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. All day long, I hear people talking out loud, but when you hold me close, it drowns out the crowd. Oh, Mr. Webster can never define what's being said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand lets me know you'll catch me if ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Isn't that powerful? And now, of course, that song's talking a little bit more about affection, which we won't be talking about today. I won't be talking about how to be affectionate and, smiling, yes, touch of the hand, not so much. But we'll be talking about listening, and her song captures the power that is even when there is no words. And that's a lot of what listening is. So the power is not limited to the person presenting, but there's also great power for those in the position of a listener. You're the quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Few people feel cared about from a presentation. But when you lend a listening ear, some people describe it, if you look at one of the quotes I wrote down for you, the philosopher Paul Tillich said, the first duty of love is to listen. The first duty of love is to listen. That's some deep stuff. The poet Maya Angelou said, people will forget what you say, people will forget what you do, but people will remember how you made them feel. How do you feel when somebody really, truly, absolutely listens to you? How do you feel? Appreciated, valued. What else did I hear? Respected. Anything else? Important. Yep. And that's what we want to capture. It's that VIP, that valuable, intelligent, powerful, priority. You can mix up the letters, but that's what it is. And instead of just talking the whole time and having you, I would like for us to engage in an activity. So I need you to partner up with one person in the room. And so go to partner up, figure out who your partner is. And I'll give you directions after you figure out who your partner is. If there's any extras, I'll partner with somebody else. I'll bring Chris in, and he'll partner with somebody if there's an extra. Does everybody have a partner? Yes. Yes. Everybody else? Do you have any extras?
There should be 21 of us. So one person.
We have a group of 3 right here.
Okay. So one of you, you can come over here and partner with Chris. That'd be great. Okay. So then.
You got it.
Not yet, but what's going to happen is you two are going to face each other. One of you is going to face the screen, and one of you will be facing that wall as you face each other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some directions on the screen for the person who's facing the screen to put into practice from a listening perspective. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, so in other words, the person facing that way, they're going to be telling a story. Right? Listen up. So if you're facing that way, you're facing the wall, then you're going to, for 30 seconds, you're going to talk about one person, a friend, a family member. It might be a positive experience. It might be qualities you see in them, things you appreciate about them. So you spend 30 seconds talking about that one person. We all can do that, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, regarding if you're listening, you're looking this way. I'm going to give you direction on how to listen based on the screen, all right? All right, so if you're telling your 30-second story, you're looking that way. Don't look at the screen. Okay, so they're an example right here. They got it right here, just like that. So you're just going to talk. He's just going to listen. There we go. You got it. All right. If you're listening, again, if you're going to be sharing a story, stay looking at the wall. Everybody else look at the screen for direction. I'm going to give you the go-ahead for the 30-second count. Ready? I'm going to give you the directions for only one of you. Listener, do you understand what this means?
Yes.
Stay in your seat, but that's how you'll be listening. All right, speaker, go ahead and go. Go.
My sister is in town. I haven't seen her in a while.
Got 10 seconds. Keep going. All right, we need to do a stop. All right, if you were talking about your friend, let us know how you felt. What did you think about their role as a listener in this activity? How did they do? Ignored me. One at a time. What was the experience like talking to them? Tell me about it.
Oh, it was terrible. I'm like,
it was terrible. Why was it terrible?
because you didn't have any focus on it.
It wasn't focused. The undivided attention was absent. Okay, what else?
It kept making me not want to talk to her.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was like I couldn't put together a thought because I realized she wasn't listening anyway.
Yes. It does propel you from the person who does not listen. That's a good takeaway from this session. Go
There's
ahead.
an optimistic twist. I got concerned because I thought, okay, her OCD's kicking in. I should, maybe I should slow down. Maybe I should
He didn't get annoyed. He just got patient, understanding.
care.
All right. Now you'll get a chance for for some listening revenge, let's go to swap places. Swap
Oh,
places.
yeah.
And I'll have some new directions for you. And if you're wondering what they were directed to do, they were directed, the prior people were directed to not focus on you, but to stay seated. That was their direction. Alright. The next directions are coming up. And again, if you're about to be the speaker, think about your story. Here are your directions. You got it?
Are we still speaking about the same thing?
Ready, set, go. Yes. Ten seconds, keep going. Three, two, one. All right. All right. If you were speaking, tell us what it was like. If you were speaking, tell us what it was like. Go ahead. She's like eager over here.
Sorry, I just felt that she was very uninterested.
Not interested.
Yeah. She just had a blank look on her face. Like,
Plain look.
hurry up and get to your point already.
Oh wow. Okay. So her plain look motivated you to go, hey, I need to chop this up.
Yeah.
Short. Okay. Well, that's a,
I had some like nonchalant blinking.
so her blinking got to you.
It
Okay.
was like that slow, like let's get this over with kind of blinks.
Okay. Blinking. Okay. That's fancy right there. Go ahead. Go yours.
I had no blinks at all. It was just like a intense stare. So all about eye contact. So I really love like the eye contact with people. So like I'm like, okay, he's really paying attention. And then you're gonna blink. I'm like, oh my god, it's making me nervous.
He gave her the stare into her soul. Mission accomplished. If you're curious what their directions were, it was, while seated, focus on the speaker, but show no emotion, no response. All right, switch it up again. We got one more round, both sides. This time, think of a story. Think of a bad day at work. A bad day at work. Bad day at work. You ready? All right, next one. Listeners, you got it? Ready, set, go. As a speaker, let us know, what was it like?
It was more engaging. Yes.
It was more engaging, okay.
I felt like I was talking with one of my siblings.
Oh, a know-it-all sibling?
Oh, what?
A know-it-all? Did it, you know?
No, just my sister.
Oh, okay. Alright, who else?
Felt like a political debate.
Political debate. Okay. Alright, what else we got?
Felt like being, I guess, attacked in a way.
Okay.
The exam papers is coming out a little too good.
We had to gaze into the soul, and she repaid it by being attacked, being offensive. Okay. Alright, you ready? Here's what it was. Stay and interrupt them and show them how they are wrong. Alright, last time. Last one. Swap again. You gotta leave it all out. it all out there. Again, talking about a bad day.
Bad day of
Talk about a bad day.
I know.
All right, you're gonna get directions. The listeners getting directions right now. Bang, set, go.
Okay, so last Friday, when I got to I was just so frustrated because the length of calls we were getting and the calls in general just did not have a focus. It's like they were all over the place. They were off the calls. It was like we just couldn't teach this. And it was, and I finished the and it was them, and it was just on the call issues.
To get through that day, thank goodness. It wasn't my best.
Tell me what it was like.
He was annoyed.
He was annoyed. Listen up, everybody. Listen up. Go ahead, Stacey.
He was annoyed. The look on his face and his facial reactions. He was annoyed that I was even talking.
Okay.
It's one of those. Are you done yet?
Second that. Anything different?
I was getting angry.
Huh?
She looked at her
Oh.
watch.
How many times? Like 3 times right here.
All right, go ahead there. We'll come back here and then come back over here.
I'm following the instructions.
It's not me. It's
All
just.
right. All right, what we got
I was
there?
getting angry at her.
Angry. Okay.
Well, not like she wasn't listening to me. Pay attention.
Yeah. Okay. It was provoking a little bit of anger. What we had right.
Yeah, he looked at his watch 3 times. I was like, okay, I guess. So then I just kind of rambled just different little things that made no sense to what I was talking about. And just nothing.
Like I won the lottery yesterday, and that was a bad day at work. All right. If you wonder what they had stay and enter. No, that's the other one.
That's the other one.
Let me go back.
I was like,
Didn't do
There we go. Make faces like you're annoyed, irritated, frustrated, at their story.
Perfect.
Go ahead and give a round of applause to your partner. I know it's unnatural. Again, some of the best listeners on the planet. And here's the truth. Here's the truth. Just as you all are aware of the right way to listen, we just kind of illustrated, there's also a wrong way to listen. So you cut some of those behaviors out, you'll be on a good little path here. We'll look at a few videos, see if the sound comes through. This is from The Office. Sometimes people need to be trained in how to be a great listener. Let's see if the volume works. This is no. Let's skip over this one. The next one you'll be able to tell what's happening without this. Okay. All right. Let's see. With Homer, he can show us a little bit of something. He said, "You have my undivided attention." All right. And one more. Homer, we're gonna teach us one more time. She's trying to let him know. I know it's easy for your mind to wander. Fair enough. Got the symbols going in there.
Squirrel.
Squirrel all the time. Squirrel all the time. Now, let me see if I can pull out the value for this next one and see if it comes to place from the laptop. And if it doesn't, we just fine for this. Okay, I got it. All right.
Oh, excellent.
There's all these kind of distractions lined up on the side.
I love this though.
It's pretty good.
Focus.
It's 5 life.
I gotta eat it all.
You gotta get a snack in.
Peanut butter.
Okay. She's had enough. Oh.
Still got one more? Yeah.
It's just like, I already pressed the stop
I'll take it all. So skinny.
But go back.
Alright.
I left this stuff behind.
When it comes to listening, which dog are you? Undivided attention dog on the left, or super distracted dog on the right? You all know this. It's about being given that undivided attention. All right. Point number 2. We had harness the power of listening. Point number 2 is expand your emotional versatility. And you can refer to that third page in the handout. And what you're going to find there is there's over 80 different emotions listed on this page. If you're like me, then your emotional versatility was pretty limited. It was a little bit like a 8-pack of a Crayola box. That's all I got. You know, I got happy, sad, and most of the time, maybe something, you know, or most of the time happy, but sometimes I'm, you know, whatever, mad or whatever. But this point is about expanding your emotional versatility. So perhaps nothing has helped me more in expanding my emotional versatility than being married. And actually this Saturday will be my 5-year anniversary, so it's nothing to some people, you know, way beyond that, but we're happy for our 5. We're happy for our 5. Now, what it really called me into learning how to expand my emotional versatility, my wife would come home, she's a nurse, so she would have a variety of different things that would happen at her job. So she'd come home and, oh, you know, hey, you know, I had a patient yell at me even though I was doing it right. And early on in our marriage, her husband, me, was like, oh, you want me to pick something up to eat? You know, like, it was change the subject without even acknowledging what she was saying, not listening. And, I did that enough time, and she lovingly, patiently, gently gave me the feedback of, hey, you know, I kind of appreciate you responding with some sort of authenticity. And I said, okay, I got you. Hey, come back tomorrow, and I got you. I'm gonna turn this around. All right, comes back, you know, hey, it was awesome today. You know, my boss bought me lunch. It was just a really thoughtful gesture. And her husband going, okay, I have to say something. That sounds good. So you want me to go pick up some lunch? You know, do you want me to pick some dinner, or what you want me to do? And then so I did that enough, and hey, that's good. Or it's just something bad, like she left her money at home. I'll go, oh, sorry about that. You know, or somebody yelling, oh, sorry about that, you know, and say sorry about that. And for her, again, she kind of had this little one-on-one with me, you know. She said, okay, look, I'm looking for a little bit more than a robotic response of, a good response and a bad response. Because you went from no response to a little bit of a response, which was better than what it was, but I'm still looking for something more. And I said, okay, I got you. Again, feedback is a gift. That's what we say at work. Let me live it out at home. So come back tomorrow, and I got you. Okay, so she goes to work, comes back, let me know, okay, she made a mistake with one of her patients. She lets me know. And then I'm thinking about my emotional wheel, right? Because I had to Google it, right? The wheel of emotion. Okay, so it sounds like a frustrating experience to go through. And she's like, yeah, it was a frustrating experience. And okay, the next day, get tested again. Something good happens. You got praised at work in front of everybody. She tells me about it. Okay. Man, that sounds like an uplifting, good experience. And again, she likes it, but then she let me know, I think you still got more in you to take it up a bit when it comes to me coming home from work. I said, oh man, okay, let me get some advice and let me actually, and for me, not saying women are better listeners than men by any means. I'm just saying that I sat in one of her hangout times with some of the ladies, and I said, I'm trying to take notes mentally of like what do they say to each other when they're responding, and I'm like, oh, okay, like you ask follow-up questions, you talk about, okay, you ask follow-up questions, you take a genuine interest, you're curious, you put yourself in their shoes, you're like, oh, if that would have happened to me, I would have, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so I'm taking notes, okay. Come back tomorrow, okay. Come back, oh man, patient was out of control, it was a frustrating. Oh wow, has that ever happened before? Is that the first time? Is that, or is it, how did you respond? I would have been shocked, I would have been startled. What did you do? And all of a sudden, her feedback along the way, and I feel, and maybe my view is biased, but I feel like I'm growing as a listener. That emotional versatility. So I want to ask you, as you look at this wheel, how does it go? Identifying the precise emotions that people are feeling around you. And it really goes back to empathy. Think about it. Empathy. And if you looked up the difference, what's the difference between sympathy and empathy online? You get some kind of generic definition. Oh, well, sympathy is feeling sorry for people. Empathy is feeling sorry with them, or something of that nature. Probably my favorite definition of being sympathetic comes from you can do a root word breakdown. So the first part, sim, is where we get the words like synonymous or same or similar. So they all mean kind of the same. It means the same. Then you have pathetic, or it comes from the Greek word pathos, which is feeling. So to be sympathetic is to literally be same feeling as the person you're talking to. So as I've tried to go through in my journey, engage how is the person feeling, and there's more than 8 emotions according to this wheel. Mahatma Gandhi said it, I put it down in your notes, 3/4 of the miseries and misunderstandings in the world would finish if people were to put on the shoes of their adversaries and understand their points of view. And as we move forward, I want to read to you the diary of a dog. And it's the diary of a dog, and I want to see if you can gauge where they're at emotionally and sense where they're at based on what is read in this diary. Are we together? All right, the diary of a dog, 8 a.m., dog food, my favorite thing. 9:30, a car ride, my favorite thing. 9:40, a walk in the park, my favorite thing. 10:30, I got rubbed and patted on, my favorite thing. 12 p.m. lunch, my favorite thing. 1 p.m. played ball in the yard, my favorite thing. 3 p.m. I wagged my tail, my favorite thing. 5 p.m. I drink water from the restroom, my favorite thing. 7 p.m. I got to play ball again, my favorite thing. 8 p.m. Wow, I got to watch TV with the people, my favorite thing. 11 p.m. sleeping on the bed, my favorite thing. Diary of a cat. Day 983 of my captivity. My captors continue to taunt me with bizarre little dangling objects. The only thing that keeps me going is my dream of escape. Now, if you were trying to gauge where they were emotionally, how would you describe that dog based on that wheel of emotion? Joyful, happy,
He sees the
thankful,
good in the little things.
good in everything. He's happy about the restroom water. He's happy about everything. Okay, what about the cat?
Annoyed.
Annoyed.
Probably in a home with a lot of little kids.
Home with a lot of little kids who are messing with them. Yeah, and it's a silly, example, but what it does is capture 2 separate types of people. And as we go through in the leadership journey, you're going to interact with a variety of different personalities, types, people who talk fast, talk slow, have a short temper, who are incredibly patient. And it's in a big part of disarming and diffusing situations. As you know, as you take these escalated type of situations, is being aware of how they're feeling on their side. Are we together?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to get into your partnership again. Get in that partner again. We're going to do the next activity. And we're going to have prizes on this activity. Same principle. One person will be facing the wall. One person will be facing the front. But instead of talking, this exercise is mostly about listening with your eyes. So if you're, and it's actually going to be reversed, the person who will be communicating won't be using words. They'll be only using gestures and facial expressions. That's the person facing the screen. That makes sense? I'm going to give you an emotion, and the person facing the screen is going to do their best to try to get you facing the wall to label what the emotion is. That makes sense?
Yes.
We're together. Again, part of leadership is integrity. So the first 3 people that raise their hands, once your partner gets it, will get a chance to get a prize of what I brought in. That makes sense? We're together?
So if she gets my emotion, I raise my hand?
Raise your hand.
Okay. Obviously.
Are we ready? All right. Again, it's a contest, so only one of you look over here. You should have everybody look. Okay. Ready, set, and go. Let it go. Oh my God. Okay, I'll get the prizes out after. I think there's enough for everybody at this point. So. Swap it out.
This is where the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. Y'all label that one straight. I think that's how I made it. That was fast. All right, y'all ready? Next one.
Anxious, nervous, scared, sweaty, anxious.
All right, you got first 3. All right, go to them, let them know what it was. No stress. All right, you come up and get a prize. And for the other one, we had like everybody went at once. The first 3, 1, 2, and 3 back.
We should have like a term paper final.
I don't know, I don't.
Yeah, I got somewhat boring prizes there for fruit. It's bananas, apples, and oranges. And we can pass it around. Everybody won that first time, so we could. Yeah, you just pass it back. Actually, let me do it after this activity, and then we'll rock with it. So you can go ahead. Should have saved it. All right, get the next one. Next one, we got a couple more. Y'all ready?
Switching or are we staying put?
Switch.
It's like, I don't want my eyes to click on it.
All right, ready? Well done. All right. Go ahead and stay seated and let's talk about. Stay right here. All right. Stay where you are. We'll do it again. Stay where you are. All right. Y'all ready? And go. I heard it, like all at the same time. The rest. All right, swap with the last two. Swap with the last two. This is about observing gestures, facial expressions, and pretty much is your nonverbal communication. All right, next one.
Excited,
Got him. Okay, we're in there. All right, next one. Right back at it.
Scared.
Dang, okay.
That was good.
All right. Anybody know the answer to this question? That activity is done. I'll pass around the group right after the session. Go ahead. How long have emotions been around?
Longest people have been around.
Longest people have been around. That's the right answer. Every now and then, a new emotion is invented. According to Google, in the 1990s, a new emotion was invented. You may have heard of it. Anger. Caused by lack of food, may evoke negative change in emotional state. Translation, feed me or I'll kill you. Hangry. Now, in this context, finish up with listening, that versatility is, in the book To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, the character Atticus Finch said, you never really know a man until you understand things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. It's a little bit like Silence of the Lambs, but like the idea of completely getting into the other person's shoes to understand how they see, how they feel, how they're reacting to situations.
You don't know the other person's battle.
That's right. I like that. All right, let's zoom through the next few points. I want to be respectful of the time that we have together. Number 3 is ask better questions. If you wanted to put your listening on steroids from a leadership perspective, it's you ask better questions. Anthony Robbins asserted, quality questions create a quality life. Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, get better answers. It's helped me in my journey. I remember I came on board as a supervisor and I was asked to participate in some of the interviews, and Courtney Rodriguez was my partner. She was observing me and giving me feedback afterward. She observed me and she gave me feedback. She said, you know what? When you're interviewing people, you don't ask them very much open-ended questions. You ask them a lot of yes or no. And you know, part of you gets a little defensive and you're like, okay, well, you know, all right. But it was true, because I remember when I would talk to people after the weekend, my favorite question, and y'all are probably better than me at this, was, my favorite question was, did you have a good weekend? That's yes or no, right? That's easy, yes or no. When most people, they're courteous, they just say yes and move on. But you change that question to, what was your favorite thing about your weekend? And all of a sudden, this door is unlocked and you're hearing all of these great, beautiful stories. Or, what was the one up, one down for your weekend? And you get a chance to hear something good that happened, something down that happened. Some of my friends who are building great families try to ask that every day to their household so they know how the day was for them, what's one up and one down. Good questions lead to gleaning some information. Great questions lead to dynamic transformation. The truth is, the seeds of better questions reap a harvest of better answers. Questions that I asked along the way that transformed my nationwide career are as follows. And I was meeting with my boss's boss's boss, and I asked him the question, why do nationwide leaders tend to be down to earth and quick to connect? I observed that the nationwide leaders were quick to pass out the coffee, even my boss's boss, and pass out the donuts. They were quick to serve. Even my boss's boss, when I went into the meeting with them, he was the first one handing out the water bottles, shaking every single person's hand in the room, and it stuck with me, and I asked him the question. He explained to me that Nationwide models their leadership for one of the leadership theories of servant leadership, where it's not about, hey, I'm above you to give out my commands, my demands, and my orders, but I'm here to serve you and support you, inspire you, and help you. Another question that transformed my career was, how can I grow even more? And I believe y'all are going to take the Strength Finders 2.0 at some point. I think it's homework. Cassie De La Garza pointed me to Strength Finders 2.0 is helpful for helping me to locate, pinpoint, and then blossom in my top 5 areas of strength. How can I grow even more? And she said, okay, I'm going to hook you up with a mentor who has a lot in common with you. Question number 3 that transformed my career is, who do you know that I should know? Who do you know that I should know? When I was interviewing for the position, I asked one of the persons who was hiring for the position if she could help me, and she said, no, I can't because of integrity. But I asked, well, who do you know that could help me? Who do you know that has your same expertise? She referred me to another business unit who was able to give me the same quality direction that she wasn't able to. Question number 4, I realized I had a weakness in my interview skills because I didn't have a great ending to the interview with great, powerful questions that showed and demonstrated my expertise from a leadership perspective. So when I went to her, it was Keisha Pollard, who was a quality manager, and I went to her initially. I asked her for all the tips she had. She gave me everything she knew. But then after the first interview, it went pretty well, but I realized I didn't close it well. So I asked her, how do I close this interview better? It's the same person offering the similar advice, but that one question unlocked another area of her thought process, and she was able to guide me into the questions that would be helpful to close that interview. I know we got about 2 minutes here, and I know Melissa's here as well. So I'm gonna run through the last 2 points. But yes, ask better questions to get better answers. Great questions lead to transformation. Good questions lead to information. Let's hit remember and refresh as you're listening to your people, as you're listening to each other. If you have a great memory, fantastic. If you don't, find a system that works to help you chart details about the people. I have 19 direct reports. I consider myself an intelligent person, but I cannot remember 19 people's kids' names or spouses' names. So I have an Excel sheet that has spouses' names. I know Taylor's hobbies are philosophy and movies and gaming, because I have a column that tells me that. And I was able to refer to it before I came in. So I know Taylor has these hobbies, and I can tell you that his mom makes really good dessert because he brought it in, and it's a way I keep track of people. I know. And I got about a few seconds left. The last thing I'll tell you is it helps you to tenderly tackle tough topics. Tenderly, not so much that one, more so with a surgeon's scalpel, and helps you to actually have the tough conversations that are needed in the role. It's not just about listening to show you care, but you also need to listen with a business mind to direct them in the way that is best. So to close, I'll just say this. This group, I can say that you're unforgettable, you're unstoppable, unopposable, unshakable. Those start with the letter U. You're powerful and precious, priceless, and a priority. Those start with the letter P. Put them together, U and the P, it's up. Listening like this will take your life up, your relationships up, and your career up. Thank you very much. 11 o'clock, so, and I put it right to the minutes. Thank you for grace.